What's up, guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. My name is Andrew, but you can call me Andy, and this is J-Rock MD, the show where we talk about all things J-Rock. And on today's episode, we have yet another reaction to, I guess, really the same song. Guys, the last 2 days have been nuts with this surprise drop yesterday morning. If you're watching this is the time I'm filming it, Puppets Can't Control You by 1OK Rock. And I already reacted to the English version. It was the only one I saw at the time when I reacted. But simultaneously, they did drop, of course, a Japanese version, and this is in likely 1OK Rock fashion. At the time, I wasn't sure because some of their other singles like Plus Matter or Delusional, were just, you know, regular drops. There was one version of it. That said, a song like Dystopia, we got the two versions, Japanese and English. In this case, we've got two versions, and no, I have not heard the Japanese version yet. I am super excited, and I have been honestly holding off going on social media, looking at some of my reactor friends' videos, as well as looking at some of my favorite reactors' videos on this song for that specific reason. But finally, after all, I'm here filming this so you get to see my reaction. So, to preface this, I've listened to this song. I've honestly been bumping the English version, and I love it. I love it from start to finish. I love the lyrics. They're super deep and poignant. I've had a lot of time to reflect on those. So I feel like that this is going to be a reaction plus review of the song Puppets Can't Control Us by 1OK Rock. Without further ado, let's jump into the reaction.
Reaction starting in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so we have the Japanese version queued up, and right before we jump in, I'm very curious as to how much Japanese are we getting in this song. Are we getting a full Japanese song like Mad World from Luxury Disease? Not sure if that's likely. That was a huge surprise back when that dropped. Are we getting like an intro all in Japanese and the rest English? Are we getting Japanese scattered throughout, like the verses? Is the chorus gonna have any Japanese? At the end of the day, 1OK Rock know what they're doing. I loved the English version, so I'm really happy with whatever we get here. That said, as everybody says, the Japanese version always slaps just a little bit more than that English version. In some cases, in Mad World's case, it slapped way more. They were two completely different songs. We're going to see what we're going to get here. Love the messaging. One thing I want to bring up, I was just looking that this song is actually co-produced by DieDie from Pale Dusk, which is nuts. I love Pale Dusk. I've been listening to them for a while now, and you know, they hit home for me because they're actually a J-rock band from Fukuoka, which I've lived many years in Fukuoka. So the fact that DieDie is involved in this song is nuts. He's a co-producer with Rob Cavallo, and again, if you don't know Rob Cavallo, legendary producer in the industry. Think Green Day's American Idiot, Dookie. Think Linkin Park, Meteora. Think My Chemical Romance. Like he is a legend. So having Rob Cavallo with DieDie, kind of the West meeting Japan, like, no wonder this song is that epic. And again, this is a song featured. It's an official theme song from the Japanese TV show on TBS, Mikami Sensei. So it's a new drama. This, I believe, is the theme for it. And with that intro, why don't we just settle in and finally listen to the Japanese version? Play. Love this intro. Yes, let's go. Oh man, with that intro, I'm sorry if I blew out the mic there. It'll probably cut it off. But Man, I love it already. Took this song from a 10 to a freaking 11, 12. Like, oh man, that's good. And it's heavy. I've just every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is good. Like and I don't like to say One OK Rock is back. I mean, One OK Rock has always been here. But it's good stuff. It's a return to form, let's call it that. Luxury Disease was the pathway to this return to form, and I feel like this is the home run. So, ooh, let's go. Let's keep going. Play. Pause here. One thing I gotta say, and I like that One OK Rock has been kind of doing it, they have these really short intros and verses, and then they kind of go right into the chorus. It's the same with this. We get that Japanese intro, we get the instrumental going in, and then it goes straight into our, like, I guess, chorus, right? In English. And honestly, I think the transition here I like a lot better. I'll have to listen back to the international version or the English version, and listen to them back to back, but I do like how they segue their Japanese into English. They've always been, I would say, one of the best in the industry for doing that, for mixing the two together and making it sound organic. And here it works so well. I'm hyped. I feel like we are back in the 35 days. And I don't really like to show off my tattoos, but we got this guy here. I love 35 for a reason. It's kind of, I don't know. It just hits home. I know some people, again, a whole other debate. We're not going there, but 35, this is giving me those vibes. It's really, now that I listen to it, I'm getting a lot of One by One vibes in terms of melody and rhythm. It's bringing me back to that song specifically, which was an underdog song on that album. One by One is my favorite, all-time favorite song from that metal album. Up there with Cry Out, Just Saying, and Fight the Night. Okay, this is not about 35. And let's go back and play. You can pretend you'll never be up here again. So good. So good. Clip his wings, he don't deserve that halo. I'm losing faith in everyone again. If the TV stations show their eyes on cable, then we're so blind that we'll be tuning. Pause. I feel like in this verse they could have gone Japanese. I feel like that would have been awesome. That said, I do love the lyrics here, and it's just like, again, talking about like how we believe these figures they put there and tell us kind of how to live our life. And we're kind of past the point of no return. But if we don't do anything now, like, what are we really living for? And I feel like I've been able to reflect on these lyrics. In my last reaction yesterday, I was a little off base from my first listen of the song. I had the messy hair. The set was looking rough. I literally rolled out of bed yesterday. It was like they posted it like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I rolled out of bed, literally almost pushed my girlfriend off the bed and jumped into this seat to film. I'm not even gonna look back on that video, but again, it's all these things are just tying together and clipping together, and I love it. I love it. I'm so happy to be reacting to this song again. Oh, and this is a first for the channel, kind of, right? All right, and play. Nothing till it turns into something. Don't like who I'm becoming. I can't keep running, searching for an answer, rereading every chapter. There's no happy ever after when it's over. Pause. Again, I guess my feeling is that intro was just the part in Japanese, which again is totally fine. That would be the big differentiating factor. I have a feeling on the entire album there's going to be a lot of some differences. We actually just got, I believe it's an official set or track list for the album. I have to double check if it is, but I'm going to do a whole video breaking that down because there's just so much to unpack. So look out for that video coming very, very soon. But yeah, I love it regardless. I feel like this is going to be the definitive one that I listen to in the car, when I'm just jamming, in the shower, what have you. But it's so good, and now just knowing that Dai is involved, and there's the pale dusk elements, like I see it. That's amazing. This is a collab, like that's crazy. And again, going back to that track list, it looks like Pale Disc might actually be featuring on one of their songs on the album, like an actual feature, as well as I can imagine having a producing credit for that as well. We'll talk about that in another video, but there's just so much to unpack. We're a month away from release, and man, I'm excited. Buckle in. We've got a lot of OK Rock content to come. Let's go. What a good breakdown. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts, this. And that's it for that one. Guys, that was Puppets Can't Control You by OK Rock, the Japanese version, and honestly, it slapped just as hard as the English International. And knowing that I've been listening to this song on repeat since yesterday, hearing the Japanese version, it feels like a new fresh take on it. That intro sounds baller in Japanese. I'm sure that's going to be the version that they play worldwide. They have been sticking with their Japanese versions on their last Premonition tour. We saw every single version, or they played mostly for the most part, were the Japanese version. So to have this, it's so good. It's a return to form. I feel like we're going back to the 35 days. We've got the J-rock elements in there, the heavy rock elements, but again, you see that Western stamp. I made the connection to Bad Omens, which I'm pretty sure they've made that own connection before, so there's probably inspiration there. They're into that kind of like neo rock that is making a resurgence in the Western world, and I mean, it's a huge prediction. Like, rock is coming back. Gen Z has embraced it. We'll see if Gen Alpha's embracing it the same way they have, and have really been putting it at the forefront. And I feel like OK Rock will be at the forefront of that resurgence, which is super exciting. We've got Rob Cavallo. That is such a big sign. If you don't know, if you haven't been following as deep as maybe me or some of the OK Rock fandom have been, Rob Cavallo, who also produced Luxury Disease, is producing this album again, and that is a big thing. He is such a big producer, and I think he knows when he sees something that that is unique and different. He's produced so many bands. He's produced Meatloaf. He's produced, like I said, Dookie, which is one of Green Day's breakout albums. He produced American Idiot, which is arguably one of the biggest rock albums of all time. You can't dispute that. American Idiot, one of the biggest. Grammy Award winning, loved by all. And so Rob Cavallo's name is attached to that. Being attached to not only Luxury Disease, helping OK Rock get to where they are, but also being attached to DETOX and this song, Puppets Can't Control You. He's got his name on it. He's got his sound on it. He knows what he's doing. And again, with a very political and a very poignant album in terms of themes. It's very thematic. I feel like Rob Cavallo's the man. I mean, look what he did with MCR. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to be a 1OK Rock fan right now. I have my biases. We all do when we're super fans, but their mark that they've had on the rock world so far. I mean, Rock Sound labeled them one of the most influential rock artists of 2024, and I feel like there's a lot to come in 2025 with 1OK Rock and the release of this album next month. Guys, this song is awesome. It's heavy. It has such a good heavy rock sound. It's catchy. We're on day 2 and I memorized most of the lyrics. Like, that's amazing. And I feel like it fits in really well with the rest of the track list. You know, Dystopia being a song about, you know, the future, it's messed up. We're living in a dystopia already, right? Those books that we read, The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, The Handmaid's Tale, The Giver, we're in that right now. But you have to look on the bright side. You have to find a reason to keep going, a light in the darkness. Whereas this song's a little bit, again, from my perspective, it's a little more pessimistic. It's more like they're already controlling us. Like, we're complacent. They're controlling us. Like, you do have free will. You gotta stand up for yourself, but are you really gonna? Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? We're stuck right now. So really, really interesting. We got Plus Matter, which is really a song about just like, it is a song about like, I'm looking out for you, right? Like, you matter to me, I matter to you. Like, let's we're in this together type situation. It's a love letter to the fans from 1OK Rock. And then of course we have Delusional, which again is this, it's almost like a state of confusion, right? Like, we're kind of nuts to think if things could actually change, that we're as equal to the higher up. So I love all the themes that are in here. Rob Cavallo and Taka and the band are playing with these themes really well. I'm super excited to hear more from this album. Not quite sure if we're gonna get another release. We might get a track right before the album, not too sure, or this might be it. We might be at 4 tracks, and then we just gotta wait for the album to drop on February 21st 2025. We're a month away from that as of filming this video, which is nuts, super nuts to say, and I'm super excited. So I'm gonna wrap it up there with my reaction to Puppets Can't Control You Japanese version, plus a little bit of review and kind of a catch up to this point. Look out, I'm gonna have a video dropping maybe tomorrow or the next day. It's just gonna be kind of going through the released track list for this album, and then I have another video hopefully coming by the end of this week, which is just about pre-ordering the album and kind of getting all your Japanese goods from overseas, because there's a way to do it, and it's becoming more accessible to be able to buy 1OK Rock goods overseas, so like from Japan itself, which I'm going to kind of give you a couple tips and tricks on that. So if you like that kind of content, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, because, you know, I'm the little guy. We're about to break 800 and it's super exciting, but I need your help. I need you to like this video. I need you to subscribe, and I need you to hit that bell notification so you never miss a 1OK Rock video drop. Until we meet again, I'm going to see you all in the next one.